Good evening, sir.
Good evening, Kana. Good evening.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening, Pa. Good evening. Hello, ma'am. Shall I start, ma'am?
Sir, we can start now, sir.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you. As it is the the participation screen sharing, ma'am, please.
Sir, please start.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you. Thank you so much, ma'am. Good evening, my dear students.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening. Okay. Do you have any doubt before previous lessons? Before lessons, do you have any doubt? You don't have no doubt at all, isn't it?
Yeah.
Anybody, if you have any doubt, please discuss with the class. Then only the concept will be clear. Okay. Doubt. Suppose if you are not having any doubt, okay, so you're not study well, I think. Okay, doubt is very, very important one. Then only you will become a number one. Okay, anyhow. So last class, what we have seen already about reproduction, particularly already about. Okay, likewise, next lesson, what we are going to discuss, the sexual reproduction in flowering plant. Okay. What is by flowering plant? Under Bentham-Hooker classification, the flowering plants are comes under the heading. Anybody else?
Sir, Angiosperms.
Very good. Phanerogamas, flowering plants are comes under the heading known as Angiosperms. What about non-flowering plant?
Gymnosperm.
Gymnosperm. Lower plant animals are called as what is that? Non-flowering plants. Okay, but the gymnosperms, angiosperms, both are flowering, but at the same time, which one is a naked one? Which one is a closed one?
Gymnosperms.
Gymnosperm is a
Naked one.
naked one. Very good. Super. So angiosperm is a closed one. Can you see this diagram? What is this bar? What is this flower? In angiosperm, which is the largest flower in the world? Which is the largest flower in the world? Anybody else?
Sir, Rafflesia. It's called Rafflesia, sir.
Rafflesia. Okay, good. So many times they were asked, which is the largest one. I am asking about the opposite manner, opposite things. Which one is the smallest flower in this world? Which is the smallest flower in this world? In the world, whatever it may be. Okay. It is also one of the angiosperm. Okay, but the growth will be very less in nature compared to this one because it's nothing but the, what is that, small one. This one is a large one. Okay, will you please, anybody else? Dhanalakshmi?
Don't know, sir.
You don't know. What about Rupasri? Dhanusri? Other persons. Just note it down. You know about Wolfia, isn't it? The one of the plant is called as, what is the name? Wolfia. It is a very smallest angiosperm in the world. These two questions, so many times they were asked. Okay, comparison between these two flowers. Okay, now we are going to discuss about the sexual reproductions deeply. Before that, we must know, so what are the basic terms in these lessons? Okay, see, the first one is called as apocarpus. See, once again repeat for you, apocarpus. Anybody else? Here, apocarpus, there are two or more carpels in a gynecium which are free from each other. That is called as apocarpus. What is the meaning? Gyneciums are free. That is called as apocarpus. Okay, this is the first term. Apocarpus means free carpels. Okay, then go to the next one. Autogamy. Autogamy is nothing but when pollen grains of a flower are transferred from other to stigma of the same flower is called as autogamy. That is, what is the meaning of this one? You know, two flowers present in the same branches. Okay, the pollen grains of the one flower or one branch transferred to the other branch of the flower or other flowers in the same, what is that, plant is called as autogamy. What is allogamy? It is opposite to the autogamy. Allogamy, reaching of pollen grains to the stigma of the different plant. That is very, very important one. This is also so many times they were asked allogamy because assessment and reasoning, you know, that time they may ask the questions. When the pollen grains of the flowers are transferred from the others to stigma of the same flower is called as autogamy. Instead of autogamy, they will give allogamy. Sometimes they may be changed. Okay, these 2 points. Okay, you note it down very clearly. And apomixis, already you know very well. What is apomixis? Last class we saw it. Apomixis is nothing but development of seed without foot. Yeah.
Sir,
yeah, go ahead.
It is developing without any fertilization, sir.
Yeah, very good. So what is meant by parthenogenesis?
Sir,
What is my parthenogenesis?
So parthenogenesis is when the offspring is produced without any fusion of the gametes, like fertilization.
Simply, parthenogenesis is right. Okay, we can easily call it seedless fruits, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and then there, what will happen? The fertilization takes place or not without fertilization, isn't it?
Yes,
Without
sir. Without fertilization.
some fruit formation takes place, isn't it? That is called as parthenocarpic fruits. Parthenogenesis is also called as apomixis, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So both are related, isn't it? Don't forget it. These things is also asked so many times. Apomix is also called as parthenocarpi. You got it, that one. Okay, go to the next one. Cosmogamous flower. What is the meaning of cosmogamous flowers? Just to note it down, this is also very, very important. Flowers with exposed anthers and stigma. It may be fit for the which one, gymnosperm seeds, because the gymnosperms always, what is that? Naked one. That's why it's exposed to the sunlight, because whether the flower is produced, anthers are, what is that? Stigma, it may be exposed to the sunlight. That's why it is called as cosmogamous flowers, otherwise called as naked flower. Example, gymnosperms. You got it, that one? Okay. Next one is clistogamous flowers. Okay. Clistogamous is nothing but the normal angiosperm flowers, the flower which never open. Such type of flower is called as what is known? Clistogamous flower. These two are so many times asked. Okay. Once again, cosmogamous flowers is nothing but it is exposed to the sunlight, otherwise called as atmosphere. Okay. Anther as well as the stigma. Example, gymnosperm, because gymnosperm seeds are naked one. We can easily see under the normal eye. Okay. Okay, we can easily see. Okay, clistogamous flowers, flowers which never open. That means it is a closed manner. Normally, all the flowers are, what is that? Such type of, this type of flowers mostly present in it. And then, coleorhiza. A protective sheath of radical in monocot seed. Yeah. Coleorhiza. The radicals of monocot plants originated from where? Coleorhiza. Already you know about what are the difference between monocot seed and dicot seed. What are the main differences? What are the main differences between these two cotyledon? Anybody else?
Sir, in monocot there will be single cotyledon. In dicot we have two cotyledons.
Okay, I'm asking you about that internal structure. What about the internal structure? What about the cell wall?
So there's a large endosperm in the monocot seed, sir, while in dicot seed, endosperm, it's not large, sir, it's not there. And in this one, it has a protective sheet, sir, protein sheet called scutellum.
Scutellum, yeah, good. So what about the cell wall between these two? When you are going to study the monocotyledon as well as the dicotyledon, the cell wall is very important, isn't it? Both the cell wall are similar in nature or different in nature. There is one of the layer is there. Already told you. That layer is called as what?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
So, in monocot seeds, sir, they're fused together, sir, and in dicot, they're not fused, sir. It's testa and tegmen, sir.
So, okay, you are telling about the inner layer as well as the outer layer.
Yes,
okay. So, what I'm asking, the outermost layer is called as alluron layer. You got it, that point? Alluron layer. It is a protein-rich components covered by a, what is that? Protective sheath. Okay. What I'm asking, the cell wall compared to the monocot as well as the dicot cotyledon, the cell wall is two tegma and testa, isn't it? So both are easily differentiated. Which one is tegma? Which one is, what is that? Testa, like that. But in this case of monocotyledon, we cannot be able to differentiate because both are dissolved in nature. Okay, that is also very, very important. Second things, already the Gal told. Okay, so monocotyledon, only single cotyledon produced, and also here also two cotyledon produced. Not only that, dicotyledon also having the endosperm is much more compared to the monocotyledon. Monocotyledon also the seed divided into two parts. That condition sealed like structure, that is very very important. The sealed like structure is called as scutellum. Okay, the lower part there is what is that? Radicle as well as a coleoptile is also there. Okay, the radicle produce the coleorhiza. Okay, and also plumules. Coleoptile produce the plumules, a shoot system as well as a root system. It is also very very important. Okay, but fibrous root system here, there what happened, taproot system. Already you know about that things. Okay, the coleoptiles. What is by coleoptiles? It is nothing but the protective sheet of plumules. Okay, monocot seed. Okay, so these are the things. Okay, next, what is my microphyll? Anybody else? Microphyll. Microphyll is nothing but the small pore in the ovule through which the pollen tubes is entered. When you are going to study the structure of pollen, structure of what is that? Ovary or ovule. Okay, that time you can see that things. The upper portion, there is a small opening is there. Okay, that is called as, what is that? Microphyll. I'm asking that microphyll mostly found in which one of the following? Fruits, seeds, and ovule, and all of this. Anybody else? Yeah, microphyll mostly found in which one of the following? Seed, okay, and fruits, and ovule, and all of this.
Sir,
So
ovule.
all of these. So all of
No.
this. So
Yeah,
all of
good.
these.
All of this. Who said all of this is a correct one? Okay, because I will tell you how it will be. Okay, when you are going to study the fruit formation, that time I will tell you, because microphyll mostly present. This is also already asked in the NEET question paper. Okay, and microsporogenesis. Microspora means micro. Just imagine the process of formation of microspores from a pollen mother cell through meiosis. The microsporogenesis is also one of the meiosis process. So it is essential for the reproductive purpose. That's why it comes under the heading known as sexual reproduction. Okay, got it. And microspore means it's nothing but the male gametes. Okay, and also another one, monocarpellary conditions. What is my monocarpellary? Mono means single. Carpels means very board. Say gynoecium represented by a single carpel. Such type of, what is that? Seeds are called as monocarpellary, or fruits are called as monocarpellary fruits. And the new cell is multicellular tissue in the center of the ovule where embryo sac is present. That is called as nucellus. Very very important things. Nucellus. Sometimes they may ask the questions. What is by nucellus? Okay, nucellus present in where? Like that they ask the question. It is present in the ovule, or it may be in the ovule where the embryo sac is present. The embryo sac means already you know. Otherwise, the embryo sac is converted into which fruit wall. Okay. Okay, already we know parthenocarpic. Production of seedless fruits. What is my pollination? Transfer of pollen grains to the stigma of a pistil. Pollen grain is nothing but the microspore. Okay, otherwise called as male gamete. Transfer to the stigma means it is a female present the ovary. Okay, and polyembryony, already we discussed it. That things is also in the previous chapters. Presence of more than one embryo in a, what is that? Fruits or seeds is called as polyembryony. Examples already we discussed. Which one? Citrus is an example. Okay, and scutellum. See, scutellum is nothing but, what is that? It is a division of monocotyledon. It is a division of monocotyledon. Okay, so everybody is divided into two parts. Okay, see. So this one, another one is okay, slightly. Okay. So what is the next one is called as a coleoptile. The protective sheath of plumule in monocot seed is called as coleoptile, isn't it? Already you know about. What is embryogeny? Development of embryo from zygote is called as embryogeny. Okay. And endothecium, it is very, very, very important. What is by endothecium? Where it present, you know? Anybody else? Endothecium. Where is it present? No? Okay. So endothecium mostly present in the, where you know? In the anther. Okay. The anther, the fibrous layer is the anther next to epidermis. Okay. This is called as what is that? Endothecium. This layer, how many layer is present here? You know, 4 layers. This is very, very important. Epicoctile. This is also another one. When the plant grow, you know, it is whether the above the soil or below the soil. According to this growth, according to the growth of the plant tips, they may be divided into epicoctile and hypococtile, like that they may they may divide. Okay. See the epicoctile, the portion of the embryonic axis between the plumule and cotyledon is called as epicoctile. Okay. So when it grow during the germination periods, what happen, you know, the embryonic axis is there. Embryonic axis means the middle axis between the plumule and cotyledon. That's a space is there. That space is called as epicoctile. Okay. And geitonogamy. The self-pollination between the flower of the same plant is called as geitonogamy. It is also very, very important. So many times they were asked. And hilum. Hilum is also mostly present in the, what already I asked the question regarding which one, you know, microphyte. The same question also asked by the hilum. Body of the ovule fused with the funicle in the region called hilum. That means any one of the seeds attached with the small portion of the tissues is called as parenchymal tissues with the cell wall of the fruit cell wall. So a small scare-like structures present in the seeds, that is called as hilum. Suppose take an example, fruits. After the fruits, what is that? Withdraw. What happened? There is a scare on the fruits. That scare is called as hilum. Okay. The ovules also having the hilum. So 3 components of the, what is that? Flowering plants, flower. It's also modified to seeds, fruits, and also what is that? Another one is called as ovule. These all are having hilum. It is nothing but the scare-like structure. Hypococtile, the region of the embryonic axis between the radicle and the point of attachment of the cotyledon is called as hypococtile. Epicoctile, this is hypococtile. Just note it down. The points, okay, these are the points, very, very important. When you are going to study these things with the diagrammatical oriented, you can easily understand. Okay. Megasporogenesis. Megaspore is nothing but the, what is that, ma? Female. Okay. Process of formation of a, what is that? Megaspore from the megaspore mother cell. Microspore mother cell. Megaspore mother cell. Otherwise called as, what is that meaning? It is a male or female reproductive organs. Once can repeat for you. Megasporogenesis, process of formation of megaspore from the megaspore mother cell, otherwise called as, what is that? Female reproductive organs or female gametes. Scutellum, partially developed single cotyledon of the monocot seed is called as scutellum. And syncarpous condition. What is the meaning of syncarpous? United. 2 or more carpel fused together to form a single compound of ovary is called as syncarpous ovary. Many carpels, that means called as multicarpellary ovary. Suppose if it is present in the single one, it is called as monocarpellar ovary, monocarpus, syncarpus, and polycarpus. According to the corpus, okay, fusion, according to the carbal fusion, they may be divided into 3 categories. So it is also very, very important. This is also when you are going to study the fruit types of fruits, that time you can easily see this type of conditions. Next one is very, very important, tapitum. Tapitum is nothing but the nutritive layer of the cells around the pollen sac. Maximum the anthers, the food salt received from the food substances and nutritive substances absorbed from the layer is called as tapitum. The tapitum present in the anther, where it's a third layer from the outside. Outermost covering is also epidermis, again the hypodermis, then tapitum. Okay, this one is the third layer from the outer side. Viability of the seeds. What is the meaning of viability? It has the ability to grow a germination conditions. The ability to seed to retain the power of the germination. That condition is called as viability. Already you know very about there. All the seeds are having the viability. Some of the seeds are not having this type of viability. Give an examples, any one of you. Non-viability seeds. Anybody? Okay. What about supporter seeds? It is non-viability. It cannot be able to produce their germinations. Okay, it's only under the stem cutting process. Okay, these are, and then these are the very important. What is that? Mnemonics. MMC, microspore mother cell. They may ask the expansion level. Okay. PN, primary endosperm nucleus, and PEC, primary endosperm cells. These are all we are going to study. And the last one is called as xenogamy. Once again, repeat for you. What is meant by xenogamy? Xenogamy, transfer of pollen grain from anther to the stigma of another flower of different plant of the same. What is that? Course. See, xenogamy is nothing but the both the plants are different in nature. One is comes under the headings known as whether it may be a Solanaceae. Another one is called as it may be in the Malvaceae family. The both the what is that? Pollen grains united together with the different stigma. Such type of what is that? Gamy is called as xenogamy. This one is also so many times they asked. This one, Clistogamy, and also xenogamy, and one more is there. Which one you know? So these things we must note it up very well. Okay. Now we are entering into the sexual reproduction. Okay. Before we are going to study the sexual reproduction in flowering plants. The flowering plants are all comes under the heading is known as angiosperms. So the angiosperms, you must know systematic position of the angiosperm. Here already you know, but these are the hierarchy, classification hierarchy. Started from the low, what is that? Unit is called as species, followed by genus, family, order, series, subclass, class. Okay, and also again they may be up to the end of kingdom. Okay, here they have given as a species and also having subspecies. Genus, subgenus, family, subfamily, order, suborder, series, subseries, subclass, class. Okay, like that they classified. Then you are going to study the hierarchical aspect of the, what is that? Any one of the plant, you must know these are the, what is that? Systematic positions. Here we are going to discuss about the which plant, capsula. This is called as capsula. Why we are taking this one? The capsula is the one of the most important angiosperms, which contain all the characteristics features of the angiosperm. That's why it is called as, what is that? Typical angiosperm. What is that meaning? Typical angiosperms. So their classification based on their, what is that? Systematic position. What are the classes? It comes under the heading subclasses, series, order, family, genus, and species given here. First, the glass, already you know about Dicotyledonate, because it's one of the Dicot family. Subclass Polypetale. Polypetale means, what does it mean? Petals. It is a more than 3. That's why it comes under the polypetals. Series Thalamiflorae. The flower conditions will be thalamus in nature. All the floral pods arranged in stage-like structure is called as, what is that? Thalamus. Okay. And orders parietal. It depends upon the seed, attachment of the seeds. Okay. Parietal in the fruits. Okay. Parental type. There are so many types. The axial placentation, parietal placentation, marginal placentation. Okay. Likewise, here it comes under the headings known as parietals. That's why it is also called as parietals. Family Cruciferae or Brassiae. Okay. Cruciferae is the family. Genus Capsula. Species Brusa pastoris. This is very, very important. So these are so many times they were asked them. The Angiosperm classification, particularly Capsula, comes under the heading which type of series, which type of subclass, which order, which family, like that they may ask the questions. Because it is a typical Angiosperms. What is meant by typical? It contains all the Angiosperm characteristics. That's why they have chosen and also given as an example for the whole throughout the syllabus. Okay. Go to the next one. Before that, we must know how it will be started. In historical aspect, we must know. So many times they ask the question from this. The Angiosperm originated which era? Like that they may ask. That is called as Mesozoic era. You must note it down. Each one is very well. Angiosperm originated in which era? Era is nothing but the, what is that? It's a period. Okay. 100 and 1000, like that. The era is denoted as 100 years before, 200 years before. That is comes under the headings known as era. Okay. The Angiosperm originated in Mesozoic era. The Angiosperm originated either in the beginning of the Cretaceous period. Cretaceous means beginning, or in the ending period of Jurassic period of Mesozoic era. So many times they were asked, the Jurassic period is called as, what is that? Cretaceous period or a Mesozoic period? Mesozoic period. That is also a very, very important. See, Angiosperm originated either in the beginning of the Cretaceous period or ending period of the Jurassic period. That is called as Meso, means middle, between the Cretaceous as well as the Jurassic. Okay, so that is very, very important. It means they are originated between Cretaceous and the Jurassic period on the earth. Okay, Angiosperm started from where, in between the Cretaceous and Jurassic period. That condition is called as which one? Which one? Mesozoic, middle. Okay, it is very, very important. Okay, the Angiosperm dominated over the earth in which one? Coenozoic era. This is very, very important. 3 questions arised or asked from this area: Mesozoic era, and also Cretaceous period, and Coenozoic era. Because Angiosperm, when it dominated on the earth, Coenozoic era. So the Coenozoic era is also called as golden period of Angiosperm. Okay, that condition is called as, what is that? On the eras is known as golden period of Angiosperm. Sorry, here the spelling mistake is there. Sorry. That is called as Coenozoic era. The golden period of Angiosperm is called as Coenozoic era. This was first introduced by the name of the scientist. Who is that name? The first of all, N. Grew realized the fact statements or male sex organ of flowers. First, who discovered anatomy of the plant? The one of the scientists called as N. Grew realized the fact statements or male sex organ of flowers. Male sex means about anthers. Okay, these are all very, very important. The 4 questions are asked from this area. Mesozoic, and in between this Mesozoic means which era? That is Cretaceous period as well as the Jurassic period. There is called as Mesozoic era. The Crustaceans is nothing but the Jurassic period on the earth. The Coenozoic means what is that? Angiosperm dominant over the earth is called as Coenozoic. It is also otherwise called as golden period of the Angiosperms. The end grew first, the sex organ of the, which one, the male sex organ, otherwise called as stamen, was first introduced by, and anatomical aspects also reported. Go to the next one. See, sexuality in plants, first of all, reported by Jacob and Camerarius. Sexuality in plants, first of all, reported by the Jacob and Camerarius. And he reported anther or male sex organ, and the ovary with the style and stigma are the female sex organ. That means male sex organ is anther, female sex organ is, what is that? Style, stigma, ovary. So this was first introduced by or reported by the name of the scientist called as Jacob Camerarius. And for the formation of seeds also, interaction is essential in between both the sex organs, like that they told. Without two sex organs, that means the anther as well as the ovary, what happened? The seed is not formation. So interaction is also very, very essential between both the sex organs. This was first introduced by who? The Jacob and Camerarius. Otherwise called as, we may tell as the pollination, isn't it? Okay. Significance of the pollination. Next line. The signification of the pollinations or role of insects. The insect role is very, very important. Then only the pollination will be possible. Otherwise, it is not possible. This was recognized by Joseph Colerichter. Okay, this was the another name. Pollinations without insects, it is not possible. Like that, they stated the statement. Okay, that name is called as Joseph. What is that? Colerichter. And then another one is called as C.F. Wolf. Is the father of plant embryology. That is very, very important. Plant embryology. Okay, C.F. Wolf, father of plant embryology. Okay, another one is the most important Indian plant embryology. Who is the name of the Indian plant embryology? Professor P. Megasporogenesis. Is the male or female born? Anybody else? The Indian plant embryology. Okay, is whether he is a male or female? P. Megasporogenesis.
Male.
Yeah, correct. Male. Okay, he wrote a book. So next line came, he wrote a book, Introduction to Embryology of Angiosperms. Sometimes they may ask the question, okay, who is the father of Indian embryology? Okay, like that, P. Megasporogenesis. Sometimes they ask Megasporogenesis is whether male or female, like that. So he wrote the book, the name is called as what? Like that, they may ask the question. Okay, so note it down, that things. So this is a flowers, already know very well about what are the floral part present in it. Just imagine the lower green part is called as a receptacle. It is attached with the stem of the main axis. Okay, followed by there is a placenta. Okay, the placenta is also attached with the receptacle. And next there is a green color is there. What is that? Already but this is called as green chapel, calyx. And colored one is called as corolla. Okay, these two are what happening. It is only the what is that? Protect the inner layer of the stamen as well as the which one ovary during the bud conditions. Bud condition, what will happen? It protect the innermost layer of the innermost holes. What are they? Anther as well as a female reproductive organs. It is covered by a corolla and calyx. So this is called as nucellus. He noted here, and cavity of the ovary, like that they denoted here. Wall of the ovary. This is called as wall of the ovary, also modified in the form of what is that? Fruit wall of the fruit wall. Okay. So this already this is called as male reproductive organs, anthers. Okay, anthers is consists of two things. Is there? One is called as what is that? Pollen production. That is called as what is that? This one is called anther. This one is called as filament. Both are collectively called as stamen. Okay, and this one already stigma, style, and ovary. Okay, these are the things already. Just note it down. Already know very well about the part of the flowers. Okay, here which one is very, very important? No? The reproductive part of these two things only, male as well as the female reproductive part only essential. Okay, here the stigma is there. Stigma is here. Here the microorganisms. Extremely sorry. Microspore is produced by the anther, transfer from the anther to stigma. When we are going to study the fertilization process, we will see these things. Okay, or the next one. Most of the important angiosperm characters are found in the capsula. Why it is called as typical angiosperm? That's why here given an explanation, okay, of typical angiosperm, because most of the important angiospermic characters, that is very, very important, are found in the capsula. So that for the study of angiosperm, it is considered as a typical angiosperms. So many times I asked, typical angiosperm example capsula. Why? Because an important angiospermic characters are found in, that's why they have chosen for the studies. Okay, it is an annual plant and grow as weed during the winter season in the field. That is also another specialized characteristics. Annual plant, okay, and also seasonal. What is that? Seed producing characteristics also present in it. The main plant of the capsula is a saprophyte or sporophyte. Here, the sporophyte. What is the meaning of sporophyte? Sporophyte, nothing but the plant body is called a sporophyte, which is diploid in nature, and it is differentiated into root, stem, and also leaves. Okay, we can easily differentiate which one is root, which one is stem, which one is, okay, and also leaves. Like that, we can easily differentiate. So the sporophyte of the plant body is called as diploid. They may ask the question, angiosperm, typical angiosperm capsula, the plant body is called as, what is that? Sporophyte. Okay, it is a diploid in nature. Okay, and capsula is a heterosporous. Heterosporous, what is the meaning of heterosporous? It produces two different categories, types of spores. Okay, different types. Plant, it means there are two different categories, types of spores are formed in the life cycle, which is classified into two categories, in which male spore are called as microspore and the female spores are called as megaspore. Micro means small one, mega means it's the largest one compared to the microspores. Okay, these are all the categories or characteristic features present in the capsula plants. That's why they have chosen for the typical angiosperms. Okay, the next one. See, parts of the flowers and the reproductive parts. Already we know about. Okay, the flower may be treated as a highly short-tended shoot modified. Highly short-tended. It is a small, short-tended, standard growth of the stem is called as, what is that? Flower. To produce reproductive organ is called as flowers. And second, repeat for you. The flower may be treated as a highly short-tended shoot modification. Short-tended shoot modification, otherwise called as standard growth of the stem is called as, what is that? And at the same time, to produce the reproductive organ is called as flowers. It is also so many times they were asked. Where, you know, assessment reasoning, direct question they may ask. In fact, type of questions. The process of reproduction takes place in this plant through a special structure called as flower. Normally in our world, reproduction takes place by the special structure is called as flower. The flower contain calyx, corolla, andricium, and gynoeciums, or present in the typical or complete flower. Suppose what is meant by complete flower? What is meant by incomplete flower? Already we discussed it. So all the four parts of the flowers, calyx, corolla, andricium, and gynoecium, these four are present in it. You know, it is called as complete flower. Suppose any one of the holes, suppose calyx, or sometimes it be a corolla, sometimes an andricium, and sometimes it be a gynoecium is absent. Any one is absent, it is called as incomplete flowers. Okay. Okay. Calyx and corolla. Calyx, the color will be green in color because it's also do the photosynthetic reaction during the bud conditions. Corolla is nothing but the colored one. Different colors is there. Numerous colors, various colors of that. Okay, red, pink, orange, violet, so many colors. What is the main reason for the colors? You know, it attracts the insects for the pollination process. That's why the color will be different manners at the same time. And most of the flowers, they emit their fragrance, which is the highly fragrance in nature. Anybody else? Which flowers emit the fragrance? whether the colored one or white.
Sir, the white one, sir.
Why?
Sir, because sir, they don't have any colors to attract the insects, so therefore they attract the insects via the scent instead, sir.
Yeah, very good, super, nice. Because the white color flowers, it has a more fragrance. That means the what is that? It emit the pleasant odor. Okay, so it's easily attract the, I don't know. But other flowers, they are having the colored one. The color only attract the insects compared to the which you know white flowers. Okay, anyhow, calyx and corolla is called accessory whorls of the flowers because the structure do not participate in the process of reproduction. It only helps how protect the inner part of the andrecium and the gynecium. This is very important. Sometimes they ask the questions. Calyx. Will you please tell me the epicalyx? Anybody else? Epicalyx. Where
Sir,
it's present?
sir, it is a secondary layer of
Epical.
calyx, sir.
Calyx. Very good. How many? Give an examples. Give an examples. Epicalyx. Hibiscus plant, you know?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, hibiscus plant is the outermost layer. 7 epicalyx mostly present. A small, minute, similar to that of the calyx. It's a below the layer. This, you know, below the layer is there. Okay. These are the flower pots already we discussed. Once again, the diagrammatically you can see it. Basic flower structures, receptacles, and also another one is called as thalamus, and also pollen tube is also here. Okay, and ovules and ovary. And here, you know, but these are all collectively called as pistil because, okay, anthers already know about that. The upper part is called as what is that? Anther. This one is called as what is that? Filament, collectively called as what is that? Stamen, and stigma, style, and ovary. This is called nothing but the fruits. The ovary converted into, or ovule is also converted into which one, you know, seed. The ovary converted into fruit. Okay. The filament and the anther. Which one is called as filament? It is attached with the anther. There is a small, what is that? Needle-like structures. Okay, this is called as what is that? Filament. So the filament as well as the which one is anther attached together. You know, on the under the base. You know, which tissue present in it. Sometimes they ask the question. Will you please anybody else? The anther attached with them, or otherwise called as anther attached with the filament. Okay, there is a small gap is there in the base of the this area. Okay, so which tissues is present in it? Anybody else? Anybody? The anther attached with the filament, isn't it? In between anther and the filament, there is a small tissues is there. Then only it is connected. Otherwise, it will not connect. That connected tissues is called as what? Anybody? It is also one of the parenchyma cells. Note it down. So many times they ask the questions. Okay. The andrecium and the gynecium are known as the essential whorls because they are directly related with the reproductions. Okay. These are very important. Without these two, you know, you will not get any fruits. You will not get any generations. Okay. In angiosperm, male and female gametes are formed in male and female sex organ by the process of meiosis. This is very important. Okay, female sex organs, male and female sex organ by the process of meiosis only. Both the gametes fuse together to form a diploid zygote, which gives rise to the embryo. These are all already we discussed. Andrecium, gynecium produce corresponding male gamete and female gamete. Fused together by the process is called as meiosis. After the meiosis, what happened? It converted into which one, you know? The zygote converted into embryo. Okay. It means the process in which embryo is formed by meiosis and fertilization is called as ampimixis. Ampi means both. Mixis means united or fusion. Ampi means male as well as the female sex organ produce corresponding gametes fused together form as a zygote. That condition called as ampimixis. Ampimixis means different gametes. Different means male and female. You just note it down. That things is very, very important. So as a result, what happened, the embryo formation takes place. Okay. Male reproductive organ. Male reproductive organ, we are going to study one by one. Before that, we study what is by.
So,
Yeah.
sir, could you explain the amphimixis again, sir?
Which one?
So,
Yeah.
amphimixis.
Amphimixis, nothing but see here. See, you know a little bit androgen and gynoism, isn't it? The androgen and gynoism correspondingly they produce the which gametes? Male gamete from androgen, female gamete from the gynoism, isn't it? Both are undergoes meiosis. Both the gamete fuse together to form a diploid zygote, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Isn't it? That condition is called as amphimixis. That means syngamy also called as amphimixis. Amphi means what does that mean? Different gametes. Different means what is that? Male as well as a female. It is structurally and functionally the two are different in nature, isn't it? Amphi means
yes,
both different characters, different structure or different genetic sequences is there. So both are united means its condition is called as what is that? Amphimixis. You got it?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So it is also nothing but syngamete. Okay, normal fusion only. But here what they are telling, so fusion of gamete from the two different parent, male as well as female. That's why it is called as amphimixis. Okay. Do you understand? Are you clear now?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay. What is the next one? Male reproductive organ. Before we study the male reproductive organ, what are the angiosperm? What are the special characteristics of angiosperm? What are the historical aspects of angiosperms? Who first introduced? Okay. What is typical angiosperms? And then what are the eras? Mesozoic, Crustaceans, and also Jurassic eras, golden period of eras. All those things we already studied. Then floral parts. What are the floral parts present in it? Calyx, Corolla, Angiosperm, and Gynoism. Okay. What are the difference between monocot and dicot in floral aspects? Floral aspects, how will it be differentiated? Anybody else? Monocot contain this much of flowers, this type of flowers. Dicot is this type of flowers. Please, Calyx in Corolla. Boys or girls? Dhanalakshmi, Kavya, Rubasri, Ritika. Anybody else? Dhanusri. Anybody else? See here, monocot, it has a trimerous signature. Trimerous. Okay. All the floral rods, take an example, Calyx, present or not? Perianth only present in the monocot. Corolla, and also Angiosperm and Gynoism. These are all what is my trimerous in 3 and 3-fold, like that it comes. Okay. Dicot, you can take an example, all are comes under the heading is known as 5 and 5 pentamerous in nature, 5 and 5-fold like that. Calyx 5, Corolla 5, Angiosperm 5, Gynoism also 5, Carpels also 5, like that it comes. Okay. This is very, very important one. Okay. Floral parts already we know about what are the parts present in it. That things is also we'll study. Now we are going to enter one by one. Male reproductive organs we are going to study deeply. The male reproductive organs is also called a stamen. Okay. The stamen consists of what is now male reproductive unit is also called as what is a stamen. It is made up of the anther and flamen. Already we discussed. Two part of a typical stamen, the long and slender stalk called a filament. Okay. And the terminal generally, bilobed structure called as anther. Bilobed. Okay. Bilobed. Once again, what is the meaning of lobed? Lobed means two array. Bi means two. Lobed means small. What is that? What is that? Sac-like structure or array-like structure. So that is called as a bilobed structure. That's why it is called as what is that? Bisporangiate. But bilobed structure sometimes it present in the 4 what is that? Chamber. That is called as tetra. Okay, we'll study one by one. Stamen are also called as microsporophyll. This is also very, very important. Stamen are also called as a microsporophyll in nature. Okay, because it's a minute vein. We can see under the microscopic. Okay, it can move from the one place to another place. That means it can move to where? Male gamete to female. Okay, during the pollination process. Anther and filaments are attached together with the help of small region is called as connective. Already told you the connective. The connective tissues is called as vascular tissues. Already told you paranematous tissues, but here the vascular tissue. What is the meaning of vascular tissues? Means that is very, very, very important. The anther and filaments are connected by a small connective tissues. That connective tissues is called as vascular tissues. Note it down. Very, very important. The vascular tissues. Vascular means you know very about xylem and the phloem, because it's also the stamens also. The anther and filaments also. What is mean? What is meant by? It may conduct the water as well as the food material from the where into a flower pot into which one you know? The anther filaments. The main part of the stamen is the anther. Each anther generally, what is that? Bilobed structure. That is, anther has two, see, lobes is called as Dicot because it contains the two lobes. Okay, so that's why it is called as, what is that? Dicot. What is the meaning of Dicot? Each anther, okay, generally bilobed structure. That is, the anther has a anther lobes is called as Dicot. Suppose the anther, it has a two lobe bilobe. It is also otherwise called as Dicot. Okay, it is also comes under the heading is known as Dicot. See the diagram. This is called as Dicot. This is the anther already in our report. Otherwise called as male reproductive organs, androeciums. Okay, the uppermost layer is uppermost part is called as anther. Here there is a, what is that? Filament is that. Collectively called as stamen. The anther as well as the filament attached to the small connective tissues in this area. Okay, in this area. This is called as, what is that, you know? Vascular tissues. Okay, this is called as Dicot. Dicot means already you know bilobed structures. Here, when you are going to see the immature anther, you can see what is that, you know? You can see the four chamber bilobed structure at the same time. Four chamber is there here. Okay, here single round, and here also a small round. Here also small round. Here the four. What is that? Chamber is there in the four corner. It look like a what tetrasporangiate like structure. Tetrasporangiate means four lobed structures. But when it undergoes the maturation process, the cross wall completely what is that? Degenerated. Completely degenerated. As a result, it look like a two. That's why it is called as, what is that? What is that? Dicot. Okay. Here the space is given, isn't it? This is a space that is called as line of dehiscence. When it undergoes the dehiscence process, completely loss of water and the nutritive substance. As a result, what happened? You know, the cells are hardening in nature. So as a result, automatically what happened? It may be dehiscent longitudinally. And then during this dehiscent process, what will happen? You know, the pollen grains comes from the pollen sac, and also it reaches the female reproductive organ of the ovary. That is called as ovule or stale, like that. Okay. All the flower pods are attached to the base of the flower is called as thalamus. Already told you, thalamus is nothing but a simple stage-like structure present in it above the, what is that? Stack. Okay. So all the flower pods means, take an example of Calyx, Corolla, Andrecium, Gynoecium, all are present on the stage-like structure. It is called as thalamus. A typical anther has a 4 microsporangia. Already told you. The typical anther has 4 microsporangia which develop into pollen sac. It is tetrasporangia. Suppose if it is contain 4 microsporangia, is called as tetrasporangias. Suppose it's 2 means bisporangiate. 1 means monophorangiate, like that. Okay. So this is very, very important things. The typical anther, how many microsporangia present in it? They may ask the question. 4 sporangio. Okay, so that's why it is called as tetrasporangiate in nature. Pollen grains are formed inside the pollen sac through the meiotic divisions. That is very, very important one of pollen mother cells. The pollen mother cell produces the pollen grains by the process is called as meiotic cell divisions. That is very, very, very important. Then only you will get the 4, what is that? Microspores. Okay. So this is also very, very important things. Here they may ask the question, Thalamus. When you are considering the apple, apple is the modification of which part? Which part, pa?
Sir, Thalamus, sir.
Yeah, very good. What about the psoriasis? Psoriasis, nothing but jackfruit. You are consuming the small fruits. What is that? It is the modification of? Any idea?
Sir, I'm not sure, but is it nucellus?
No. It is nothing but the phyli. Okay. It is nothing but phyli. Tamil we may call it as a poo vidalgal. Okay. They may ask. Okay. Pollen grains are formed inside the pollen sac through the meiotic divisions of pollen mother cells. Okay. This is very, very important. The last one is called as already know the capsula, which is a member of the Cruciferae or Brassica, the anthers are Dicot and also tetrasporangiate type. Okay, that's why capsula, tetrasporangiate, Dicot, Cruciferae family. These are all very, very important. But in Malvaceae, like that, Malvaceae, Malva silvestris, Malvaceae family, so many things is there. Cotton family. Okay, the anther of the stamen has only one anther lobe. This is called as monothecus, but this is called as monothecus, and it contains only 2 pollen sac called as bisporangiate. Already told you here dithecus, tetrasporangiate, but here monothecus, bisporangiate. Okay, this is very, very important. Okay, here dithecus means 2 lobe is there, but look like a 4 chamber. That's why it is called as tetrasporangiate. Malvaceae compared to Malvaceae, okay, here the monothecus is there, but it's look like a 2 sporangiate in nature. When it maturation takes place, what happens there? In between the center cells degenerate. Okay, I think today is enough. I think so. Remaining things we will see on the next class. If you have any doubt, will you please ask me here or in this lesson or previous lesson? Okay. Anybody else, my dears? My dear students, do you have
No.
any doubt?
No, sir.
No. So go through it once again. Just buy a book. Okay. Then only it will be better for you. What is that? Reference. Otherwise, just go through the which one NCERT book. Okay. So you have to study the NCERT book throughout the year. How many times maximum? Just read it 20 times, approximately 20 times. Read it and also take the lessons, take the notes. Which one is the black letters, diagrammatical, and also what is that, chart. Okay, and the classification based on that one. The things you must note it down. Surely you will get the success. Okay, shall we finish it now? So next week we start from structure of anther. Okay, that's all about today classes, Paul. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Paul. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Children,
Okay,
please join in chemistry link.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.